T-Dog, J-Boy, and me, I'm Lugs. Our pride and joy is pumping our mugs. Be careful, kids, it could get rough. We're flipping our lids on sports and other stuff.
Welcome to Sport Weasel Central. I'm Lugs.
I'm J-Boy.
I'm T-Dog.
Yes, this is Sports and Other Stuff recommended by 4 out of 5 dentists for their patients who listen to podcasts. Here's what you'll learn about NCAA men's tournament. It's Sweet 16 time. NCAA women's tournament. Area teams are still dancing. Plus, NFL free agency winners and losers. Up first, these headlines. VCU's COVID-19 forfeit. 8 out of 9 Big Ten teams lose. The Pac-12 is killing it. Kansas and Illinois choke. Lots of underdogs. Let's get started. Hey, what's on True TV tonight? Take it away.
I don't know about True TV, but these have been some interesting games, top to bottom. Just the highlights for me was that USC game with the Mobley brothers. That was just amazing what they did to Kansas. It was just crazy. So that's one of the highlights I take away. But this whole weekend has just been decimation of your sort of higher seeds, although 3 number ones still are there. Anyway, it's been interesting, a lot of fun, and glad they took it out of mothballs and we got past COVID. And to only have one team bounced because of COVID, that's amazing to me.
Yeah. I guess the big highlights for me were Oral Roberts making the Sweet 16.
Sir.
Mainly behind Max Asmus. He had 29 against Ohio State and 26 against Florida. Houston advancing to the Sweet 16. It's like the most unique Sweet 16 I could think of. Some of the teams, because you got Creighton, but Houston. Here's a crazy one to think about. With the win to get to the Sweet 16, Sampson got his 665th win, moving him past John Wooden.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Ding dong to him. All right.
And then, I guess the number 1 overall seed, Drew Timm, channeling his inner Bill Walton / Hulk Hogan with that handlebar mustache. He had 30 points and 13 rebounds. It was their 25th straight win, double digits. And just, again, one of the other Mighty Mites, Baylor's defense just suffocating Wisconsin. So,
yeah. Well, and to go back to Gonzaga, my boy, he's also a harmonica player. It's like they were dumping in all these little factoids trying to build up interest or whatever.
Yeah.
But Loyola, I got it, the sister, she's got the pipeline. So
She's working it.
Come
in, sister. Come in. Can you hear us? Hello? It's the Lord.
I wouldn't count them out. You got some, like Alabama. If Alabama's on with their 3-point shooting, they're dangerous. All of these teams that are left are still dangerous. I was shocked by the fact of the Pac-12 still having as many in the Sweet 16. Just crazy. It's upside down.
It's a mid-major takeover. Let's admit it. Loyola Creighton, ORU, Oral Roberts, and my man, Cameron Krutwig of Loyola. Dick Butkus reincarnated, is he not? Look him in the face. He looks exactly the same.
Yeah, he reminds me of a tight end type.
Right, but he's light on his feet, and he can. I don't know, man. Where's that guy been? Unbelievable. But I like the mid majors. I like the way it's going. You're right. We only had one COVID forfeiture, and that's very surprising. And then, of course, there's always the Spike, Samuel L. Jackson, and Charles Barkley commercials just to tide things over when you're bored. Good stuff. I think it's been pretty good.
Yeah. I think the only downside, and I usually enjoy her commercials, the Lily from AT&T, where they're talking about the elbow, and then she thinks the center is the spleen. They need to fix that. That wasn't like that. I like her work though.
Don't
Like,
go
usually
picking on
great.
Lily, man. She's a friend of the show, I think.
I'm
Isn't she
not picking on her. I'm just saying like that those pieces. She was giving bad writing. I don't think that was her. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and she's made herself a tidy little sum, I would say. I mean, because they've made her part of the team.
Yeah.
What I find sort of annoying is all of a sudden here's a Coca-Cola banner. The game's going on, and he has to read that stuff. That's like small-time radio in the midst of the game, reading a commercial. But the good news is it's only like a 5-second. I guess they call them darts. So
that was a Dodge, wasn't it? Dodge Dart. A friend of mine had one of those in college. Hey, but see, this is the only time people watch commercials is live sports. When you're streaming, you don't. When you DVR, you don't. So that's why they do all this gotcha stuff to get your attention.
Yeah.
So it's working.
No, I get it. And they lost a fortune last year, so they've got to pump out as much as they can on this one. But I think just for the overall excitement, plus people just needed that diversion, that moment to just say, I don't have to deal with the kids and homeschooling and blah, blah, blah that COVID has brought. So now good for them. Good for the production team on the whole deal.
I think the year off, they freshened the music a little bit. The graphics are a lot better, more consistent. I like the whole that Final Four March Madness big dance idea. I've had enough of Jim Nance already and Bill Raftery with a kiss off the glass. I mean, let's get over the hello friends and all that, okay? Can we get over that?
How about the studio stuff? Are they like pumping them full of like drugs? Like they were really giddy last night. Gumbel, Wally Zerbiak, Seth Davis, and Clark Kellogg, like they all seemed loopy.
Could be something in the air.
And I got a question. Where do they mothball Zerbiak for the rest of the year? I mean, where does he end up? You know, it's like
I had to look him up. He does something. I can't tell you what it is, but you're right. We never see. Plus that stellar career that Wally had. Oh, yeah. There it was.
Hey, you got to respect the man's eyebrow game. Besides Eugene Levy, no one has stronger eyebrows.
His eyebrows have an agent, I hear. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's that. Anything else about that? It's exciting. 16 teams to go. I think we'll get a champ, and it'll go as scripted all across the great state of Indiana.
I would say that I still would like the Zags to finally just do this thing and have that full perfect season. I think they're going to run into some trouble down the line, but I think they are the national champs.
Yeah, I think you're right. I hope you're right. I think it would be kind of fun. Walter Zerbiak is a Spanish-born American former basketball player, color analyst for the New York Knicks on the MSG network. Isn't that monosodium glutamate? Isn't that what MSG is? I don't know.
Yeah, it's off my diet.
Yeah. All right. So that's who Wally is, Walter Wally Zerbiak. A women's tournament. Exciting. We got 3 local teams hanging.
Yeah. It's amazing, actually, that they're all still there. And I'm thinking maybe UK has U of L has a good shot, but I think UK has a little better shot. I haven't seen the IU women's team, so I don't know.
They obliterated VCU.
Did they?
Yeah, they beat them by, I think, close to 25, if not more.
Yeah, local star from Louisville, Grace Berger, is the IU sharpshooter. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Went to high school here in town. And
yeah, it's good. Good. The only downside, whoever screwed up by not having exercise equipment for the women compared to the men, they had a few dumbbells and a couple of mats for them.
That was crazy though. Just seeing that visual, like the difference is like it was like a if you stayed in like a Motel 6, if they had like a motel gym, it looked like that.
That
It
small
looked
extra
like,
room.
yeah, it was just like a bunch. It looked like like what 8 free weights and like maybe like a stationary bike. I mean, it was not a good look. But you know, it's the NCAA. They're used to doing things like that.
But
The
it's
worst
amazing.
thing actually than that was the difference in the COVID testing. I don't know if you all saw that.
Go ahead.
The women got antigen tests, which have quicker turnaround for results, but have a higher chance of missing an active infection. So they're not that accurate. Like you get the results back quicker, but their success rate's fairly low. Where the men's had a PCR test, which detect genetic material of the virus and can detect the virus within days of infection. So they're more accurate. So like that's the thing that's more concerning is they're kind of just like, yeah, just give them the shitty version.
Well, and the thing is they're in Texas where all
no mask. Yeah.
all restrictions are off. So, yeah, well, that's kind of like having the X-rays retouched rather than getting to the problem. I mean, it's just what amazes me about that is that in this day and age of everybody having a cell phone, a Twitter account, everything is going to be online somewhere. So you're not going to get away with that kind of stuff. It just the short-sightedness of that absolutely amazes me.
It's amazing how fast that news traveled like wildfire. You're absolutely right about that. They got to know that. They got to be aware of that.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the person in charge of that particular aspect, isn't around now.
And when you've been to the Holiday Inn Express or the Hampton Inn or the Country Inn, they show you where the workout room is, and you realize it's just a regular room with stuff in it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's what happened to the women's game, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to move into an area that is really crazy. It's free agency in the NFL.
The winners, the losers. Take it away. Yes.
Just some of the things that I have to go back to Chicago trying to get rid of Khalil and just all the craziness to get Russell Wilson when everybody knew there was no way Seattle was going to let go of him. They're just not, maybe next year, but not this coming season. There's just no way. And I think that sets a strange sort of atmosphere for Chicago for this coming season.
Well, definitely Bears are losers because they tried to trade for Russell Wilson, and I think it was reported that they offered up 3 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and 2 possible starters. And like you alluded to, possibly it was Mack and Hakeem Hicks. I still don't know the validity of that. I think there is a thing that's put out that the Bears put that out there just to make fans feel better. It's like, hey, I know we got Andy Dalton. I know that's not who you want, but we tried. We really tried. Supposedly, there are sources that say that's not true. They never even offered that. They never got that far.
And they also offered a sailboat slip on Lake Michigan, I think, too, if I'm not mistaken, for your yacht. Okay, but here's the thing, T-Dog. The Bears outbid themselves for Andy Dalton. Do you follow me?
I think there were
nobody else wanted him. Did they?
Broncos, possibly. I think there was somebody else. I do think there was somebody else. I don't think they offered him. I'm not saying you're wrong. Look, if you want to talk about where they really screwed up, like the poor cap management that had them to actually cut their best corner,
right?
Kyle Fuller, who has been a 2-time. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All Pro back in 2018.
Just a stud. That's all.
Yeah, he averaged 3 INTs per year, 13 pass defenses a year, 65 tackles per year. So